Kakalosh Boker Tov. I was asked to do with the halachot of Sefirat Omer, so I'm going to just bring down a few of the halachot, even though we already mentioned them in the past. We'll mention them again right now. First of all, to do with weddings, we already know that the minhag of Israel already was not to get married throughout Sefirat Omer. Now there was going to be, whether it's going to be different minhagim to do with when does this start. We know that sometimes Ashkenazim, they actually had the minhag, some of them, that they would go until Rosh Chodesh Iyar, and that's when they would start the Sefirat Omer, the laws of the morning, until Shavuot. And what we do is that we start right after Pesach. So starting right after Pesach until Lad BaOmer, there are no weddings. Now, if right now, the Chatan was a Sfaradi, and he thought that he was allowed to get married on Lag BaOmer, and he didn't realize that it's only supposed to be Lad BaOmer. They already made the wedding and they already prepared everything. So therefore, because of loss of money and avodah nefesh, we will be mekel b'diavad that they would be able to get married on Lag BaOmer even though they are Sfaradi. Now again, remember, according to Ashkenazim, they're allowed to on Lag BaOmer, but according to Sfaradim, we do everything on Lad BaOmer. Lad BaOmer means on the 34th. So this year, the difference would be obviously whether it's going to be, because Lag BaOmer is Wednesday night, Thursday, and Lad BaOmer is Thursday night, Friday. Now, a Rav Sfaradi, he could do Mibi Mesader Kiddushin to a Chatan Ashkenazi on the night of Lag BaOmer, or a Rav Ashkenazi the other way around, right, that they would be able to do like Maran, as long as they're doing it as the Minhag of Rabotenu Geolei Olam in Lag Masoret. However, he comes and he says, he has to try to do it with a Miftah Sfaradi, and also, right, he comes and he says, b'miftah shel Shem Hashem, the way that we do it as well. Now, when we're talking about, this is talking about until now, weddings. Me'ikar adin, somebody that was not mekayem pidya v'rivya, so he could get married during the Sefirat Omer, which means a person never had children. So they are allowed to get married during Sefirat Omer. Nevertheless, even with this, the minhag of the Sfaradim was to wait not to get married whatsoever until Lad BaOmer, even though it would have been mutar during that time. Now, obviously, if he's going to get married, so that he's allowed to do the different things of the clothing we'll speak about in another day to do with what are you allowed to do, not allowed to do, but a chatan that is going to get married, so he's allowed whether it's going to be to sew, right, or to get clothing sewn for him, and there won't be any problem whatsoever. When we're talking about music, so now the halakha states as follows: even those that are lenient throughout the entire year to come and to start listening to music, the minhag amongst Klal Yisrael was that we do not listen to music throughout Sefirat Omer. Nevertheless, shira b'peh, which means singing with your mouth. If a person wants to sing, there's no problem whatsoever. A person can sing, whether it's when he's learning Torah, when he's Shabbatot, all these things, there's no chumrah whatsoever. Now, however, though, when it comes to do with shira vokalit, which means that a cappella or all the other things that they're making it with their mouths, they're making these songs. So here he says, he says, why at the end of the day, shira b'peh? It might sound very, very good and very authentic, but at the end of the day, shira b'peh, which means singing with your mouth, is going to be permitted. However, and he says the same halacha would apply, he says, whether it's going to be during the shloshim of Shar Krovim or the shana of Ptirat Avim, which means that even if a person's in the middle of the shloshim, for other, meaning he's in mourning for a family member, or it's during the year of a parent, technically speaking, this would be permitted. However, though, he brings down, nevertheless, if it's going to bring to singing, to dancing, so therefore he says you should actually refrain from this. So therefore a person should also be careful from this, because if it's going to sound the exact same way and you're going to start dancing, so therefore it defeated the purpose, so then again you have to actually be careful. So this is the halachot again about whether it's going to be the halachot of weddings, music. There will be another few halachot, and then we'll continue from there with the other halachot of Sefirat Omer.